Hi Virgos, it's me. Welcome back. My name's Tawana. Today we're going to do a reading for you, and this can resonate with you if you have a Virgo sun, moon, rising, or Venus placement. And today I'm going to use the Work Your Light Oracle deck, the Rider-Waite Tarot, Radiant Wealth Atlas Tarot, and I may use the Angel Answers Oracle deck for advice. I may also use the Wisdom of the Oracle for advice. So Virgos, it's Friday. I'm in a great mood. I'm excited to do this reading. I've already pulled your cards. Your spread is out here. Let's jump in. First card we have is Answer the Call. These two came out together, which I took them together. If you are regular on this channel, you know that I usually pull 3 oracle cards, but these came out together, so I took them. It's a deep replenishment card and the Akasha card. All right, I'll say what I have to say after this. And then the last card is Get Grounded. So Virgos, this actually reminds me of something. It feels like your soul wants to have a particular experience right now, whether you are consenting to that or not. It feels like this is connected to, and I know everybody here doesn't believe in past lives, but this feels like, it's like I'm, like these words want to escape my mouth even before I even like cognitively thought about them. I like past lives wanted to come out of my mouth. So maybe this is how you're feeling, or many of you can resonate with this. But this almost feels like based on like your soul history, the history of your entire soul, not just this lifetime, but all the lifetimes that you've lived, all the times you came back as a human being and as a whale and as a tiger and as a leaf and as an owl or whatever you have been. If you believe in that, it feels like there is something that you are being pushed to do, to say, to experience because of your soul development. So not necessarily Virgo in this lifetime. Like in this lifetime, you may not want to do that, or you may have some like you may not even see the purpose of doing this actual thing. But I feel like on a deep level, you have a knowing that you are being driven to do something out of an innate awareness that is not even understandable fully to you in your cognitive human mind in this lifetime. That's a lot. All right. This reminds me of earlier this year, when I was like doing like my goals for the year and just thinking about like my own journey and what I would like to achieve this year, as I always do every single year, I remember having a moment where I said to myself, you know what, this year I'm gonna just submit to my soul. I am going to submit to what my soul wants to experience, because there's so many times and in different cases there are different things that I personally feel like I am like called to do, that I protest, like Tawana in this lifetime is protesting doing. Like I don't want to do that. Why do I have to do that? Like why do I have to, even like tarot, I have felt that way about, like why do I have to be the person to do this? Like I have physically in this space and time and era not wanted to do many things that I have felt like I cannot step away from, because that is what my soul wants to experience at this particular stage. And I have become aware of that in multiple areas of my life, and this is what this reminds me of. So cognitively, like I may step away from this entire thing. Like I may step away, for example, from my channel, but there is an innate calling inside of me that always calls me back, regardless of the numbers that I'm doing on the channel, or if 2 people watch me, or if 50 people watch me, or it's what my soul wants to experience at this moment in time. Whether I am, whatever is going on in my life, I am being moved into service. I am called into service because in this lifetime, that is what my soul development is requiring of me. And so I say that to say that this feels like that for you. It feels like something that you may not even see the value in or not even want to do, but on a deeper level, it feels like, I don't even want to say karmic, because I feel like that word is thrown around so much, but it almost feels like something that your spirit is yearning for, is yearning to experience beyond your knowing in this physical vessel, and your knowing in this physical dimension and time space and lifetime. And then the Get Grounded card to me is almost like you realizing that, you coming to the realization that you may not understand why you're being pulled or called to do this, and like cognitively you don't want to, and you can recognize that, but there's something deeper that is pushing you to do it anyway, pushing you to say it anyway. It's the recognition of that I think is the whole purpose of this reading. Like, Virgo, you may not understand the value of this thing, and you may not see the value at this current moment in time, but trust that this is what your soul signed up for, and this is what your soul actually wants to experience right now. All right, so jumping into the tarot, we're gonna see what your soul wants to experience. All right, so the first card we have is the Eight of Wands. Talks to me about travel and really quick action. This could even be very quick communication coming in towards you. And we have the Six of Pentacles on top of that. So I feel like this is between you and someone else. We have the Queen of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Hermit, which to me feels like your energy, Virgo. Which is interesting because you're not showing up in your own energy. So maybe you're not feeling like yourself right now. Maybe you are feeling very like insular, like you kind of like the Hermit here, like you're doing some soul seeking, but it almost feels like you're being disturbed in this moment where you are by yourself. And probably this to me, like the Five of Wands talks about conflict, but this feels like inner turmoil and conflict. It's like in this moment where you are by yourself, or maybe you'd like to isolate a little right now, or you feel like there's some healing that you need to do, or there is some direction that you're seeking. It feels like whatever this is coming in at this moment, like a communication, like someone is reaching out to you, someone is traveling towards you. And to me, it almost feels like a disturbance to you, like you are identifying it as a disturbance, but there is a small part of you that sees the value in working with this person who's coming in as the High Priestess. And the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles are also here. So it feels like an opportunity to connect with someone, to build something with someone, to work with someone, but you are also like not in the mood. That's how this feels. It doesn't even feel like a them issue at all. Like it feels like maybe you're just not in the mood. You're not in the mood, Virgo. Like you see the value of this. And maybe this has like nothing to do with how you feel about the person, but you just are not in the mood to socialize, to talk. Like you're doing your own soul seeking. You're diving deep into your subconscious. You're doing whatever work whatever this hermit work is for you right now. So you're conflicted. On one end you're like, yes, I'd like to, and then the next end you're like, actually I'm busy, I'd actually like to be alone right now. And there's so many spiritual cards here. The High Priestess is here. It's almost like you would like to listen to yourself, but there is a disturbance from someone in your physical reality who's like coming in to say like, hey Virgos, let's do this together. Let's take a trip together. I'm coming over, Virgo. You know, like it could be anything. You could just be at home and just wanting to be peaceful and in your own energy. And then here comes this one, like, hey Virgo, what are you up to today? Would you like to go to wherever with me? Would you like to do this thing with me? Would you like to work with me on this project? And on one end you're like, yeah, that's great. Like I can see the value of that. And I may love this person and I may feel very fondly about our connection, but I kind of want to be by myself right now. That's how this feels. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Star. There's so many new beginnings around you. It feels like there's so many new beginnings around you, but for some reason I almost feel like there's so much happening around you, Virgo, at a time when you'd like to pour into yourself. And I don't know if this is like you going through a very vulnerable moment. Maybe this is a shift in your identity. Maybe this is you just feeling extremely sensitive. Maybe you're going through something. Maybe you just came out of something. Maybe you are healing from something. But it just feels like a lot is happening around you while you are going into this very deep healing phase, or this very deep self-investigative phase, or like you're trying to tap into like higher guidance to maybe see what is your next step, what is your next pathway, what is your next big thing. Like it's like you're looking for direction and people are looking for you. And then we have this Queen of Swords clarified by the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Wands. And this to me feels like two different energies. Lots of feminine energies here, I should add. Doesn't all have to be women in the physical reality. These could be men in their feminine energy. But it almost feels like maybe this is like a conversation. Like someone wants to talk to you about like, hey, let's do this. It's almost causing a change in the dynamic between you and whoever this is. Because maybe you're just not in the mood. And maybe whoever this is not understanding that it really has nothing to do with them. It really has nothing to do with them or your relationship with them. It's just, it's where you are right now in like your own journey, in your spiritual journey, in your soul journey. It feels like this could be a moment where you're having like lots of dreams and you're very intuitive, and almost a time where you have to seek your own guidance. Like it's not a time for you to be in the energies of everybody else around you. This is a very solo kind of journey that you have to go on yourself, and you see that and you know that. But maybe the others around you don't get that. They don't understand the extent of that, or the extent of your desire to do that alone. So it's almost like this moment of healing and this moment of like pouring into yourself, following your own guidance, whether that be you're following your religion or you're following the stars, or you're tuning into learning more numerology, or you're tuning into learning human design, or you are just seeking, whatever seeking looks like to you. It's in this moment where like people are maybe missing you, or desiring to connect with you or desiring to talk to you. But you're not in that space to share and to receive. But they don't see that. So maybe the point of this reading is that there's a way to communicate that, to be able to preserve these relationship dynamics, because the Queen of Cups is here, and I feel like whoever this one person is coming up as very cerebral and maybe talkative. Like maybe this person wants to talk. The Queen of Swords like wants to communicate. And then there's the Queen of Cups, and I don't know who you are, Virgos. Maybe you are the Queen of Cups, or maybe you are the person here experiencing like a friend in your reality being very insular. So maybe this can give you some direction as to what is going on with that person. So there's one person who wants to talk, and there's another person who's like deep diving in their emotions right now, deep diving in their intuition, and maybe even somewhat protective of their energy because they're feeling so empathic right now, because the Queen of Cups can be a very empathic energy. So maybe there's like a preservation of your energy because you are feeling so deeply empathic, and you're trying to do this soul work on your own and not pick upon what anybody else has going on in their space. And I feel like all of your connections around you may not be understanding of that, or one particular connection is being impacted by that. And maybe this is just a reading to like say to you, Virgos, like there's a lot of love here, and maybe you can communicate that to them, that it's not personal, it's just like where I am right now, what my soul wants to experience right now. And then we have the Four of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. You're really not in the mood, or someone's not in the mood. It feels like this is a gesture, like a message coming in, like, hey Virgos, do you want to do this, or do you want to start this new project or do this new thing with me? But it's not the time for you're not in the space to receive that, because you're still doing your soul work. You're deep diving into what your soul wants to experience. And maybe this is just information. Maybe this is something that you need to figure out in terms of information for next steps. Like you're doing some soul searching right now, and you're open to that knowing coming to you, but you know you really just have to tune into you to be able to receive that knowing. And maybe that's peace and quiet, or maybe that's going on hikes, or however you receive your downloads and information. But this Page of Pentacles almost feels like a disturbance to that, because if you notice, this person is in like a prism of their own, and it feels almost very self-protective, but also they're receiving like downloads and information in this isolation, and that feels like your work right now. Your work is literally to just open the channel so that you can receive the next steps, receive the guidance. And this person doesn't necessarily understand. So then we have a Six of Wands, and we have the Hanged Man. So whatever this person is trying to do, it's not successful, because your soul is pulling you somewhere else. It wants to experience something else right now. So this plan or this idea or this collaboration or this conversation, it's not the time for you to have it. It's almost like whoever is trying to speak to you right now is speaking into a void, because you have other work to do. And I think you know that. I think you know that. So maybe it's just about communicating that to them in a very kind and loving and compassionate way. Because of course you're going through your own internal process. Nobody knows what you're going through internally. So maybe it's just speaking that out to them. All right. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. What's the advice for Virgos? What is the advice for Virgo? the advice for Virgo? Choose a new direction. Don't stop. Reconsider. To me, this feels like, even though on the surface it doesn't look like physical, like busy work, I feel like you're busy. You're busy with your own soul work at this moment. And I feel like it's a moment that you should consider holding reverence for, because it's a self process and it's ultimately for you. So whatever these earthly things are, these new beginnings, these events, these conversations, these things, like, they can always happen. But right now it feels like you're doing something a little bit more important to you, and that needs its own dedication and devotion and perhaps discipline. And I feel like there's a way to communicate that with the people around you who love you and who you love. And that, I think, is the whole point of this reading. So Virgos, I'm going to leave you here. I hope this was helpful to you, and I will see you next time. Thank you as always for watching. Bye.